The Rise of the Phone Age by Brittney Glisson. Hi, my name is Brittney Glisson and I am a senior at EIU, and today I'm going to do a presentation on the evolution of cell phones. In 1983, Motorola released the Dynatac 8000X, also known as the brick phone. The only feature of this phone was the ability to call people away from home. In 1989, Motorola released the Microtac 9800X, also known as the Clam. This phone had the same features as the brick, but with a slimmer and lighter phone. In 1998, Nokia released the 5110, a much smaller and lighter phone than anything Motorola has released to this point. The 5110 was the first cell phone to have a screen, allowing for people to see who a call was coming from. The screen also allowed for texting, which was invented in 1992. This phone was also the first to have the snake game. In 2005, Motorola released one of the most iconic phones, the Razr. This phone was the slimmest phone of its time. By this time, texting was becoming one of the main forms of communication among the youth. The large screen and the flipping action of the phone appealed to the texting generation. In 2007, Apple introduced the iPhone to the world. This phone features apps or applications that allow the user to do many things that couldn't be done on phones before. This app-based phone set the standard for the smartphone surge that would rule the next decade. iPhones are still being used to this day, 10 years later. By 2013, nearly every cell phone brand was producing smartphones. New generations of phones were being released every year with newer and better features. Nearly all phones were touchscreen and featured some type of app-based background. To the right is a picture of all of the smartphones with touchscreens and apps included. Here are some basic statistics. In 2002, 62% of Americans owned a cell phone, and there was no data on smartphones at this time. In 2011, 83% of Americans owned a cell phone, and 35% of these Americans owned a smartphone. In 2017, these numbers were rising, with 95% of Americans owning a cell phone, and 77% of these Americans owning a smartphone. Demographic information. 96% of men own a cell phone, and 78% of these men own a smartphone. 94% of women own a cell phone, and 75% of these women own a smartphone. More demographic information. Ages 18 to 29 own a cell phone, 100% of them. 92% of them own a smartphone. 99% of people ages 30 to 49 years old own a cell phone, and 88% of them own a smartphone. In ages 50 to 64, 97% of individuals own a cell phone, and 74% own a smartphone. And 65 years and above own a cell phone. This percentage is 80%, and 42% own a smartphone. The future of cell phones. In 2017, the cell phone industry continues to rise. Cell phones now come waterproof, can be used as a debit card, and can store the user's passport information. In the near future, cell phones may be the only thing a person needs to carry.